Well, this should be a fairly quick update. You know, it's really, really, really hot out. So my typical activities are suspended just a little bit. Gives me a little time to focus back on the train room instead of being out in the woods on the farm. And just came in the mail. Bought it from Bachman, their parts store. And sadly enough, I believe I purchased the last one of these. And it's a shell, obviously, for, an FM Trainmaster. And I had bought this Williams Trainmaster in Syracuse a couple of years back. And runs beautifully, I spent like $80 on it. And the reason why it was so cheap, even though it was new in the box, it had some broken side frames. And I took some Lionel side frames from their Trainmaster, did some die grinding on them and made them fit. And but always kind of like wondered if New York Central actually had Trainmasters. They had Fairbanks Morse, and it turns out they never ever had a Trainmaster. So of course that kind of sets the trigger. Sooner or later I want to rectify that and have at least a shell on this beautiful running locomotive that actually had happened sometime in real life. So when I saw this for $60, hemmed and hawed for probably about a year, finally just couldn't handle the pressure and bought it. Of course, it's the last one. My son went back trying to find one for his, and they're no longer in stock because the last one's right here. So basically these should be simplistic. It should be just 2 screws, and one should go off and the other one goes on. And I see there's a little flex in it. I don't see if you can tell from the camera. And I'm hoping the frame will straighten that part out. We're going to find out. I'm going to put the camera down and take one off. Should be just a screw on either end, and then put on the Norfolk and Western, because they actually did have Trainmasters. Well, true to form, pretty simple. And I think Williams did a really good job. Got the 2 vertical can motors, the flywheels. It's got sound. There's your speaker. I think one of the reasons why it sounds goofy is because of where that tape is. We'll have to change that. But the regulator, rectifier, and sound card are strapped together with tie wrap. Oh boy, I may have to do some things to this. But anyway, this is what it looks like on the inside. And sure enough, just these 2 screws were all it was required to release the body or shell. So let me do something here. I'm not happy with the way that is. Well, I couldn't leave just Scotch tape there. So I put a little tie wrap, kept a little bit loose, and reroute to the back of the speaker. And you just got to make sure it's not tugging too hard. I think I'm going to move that card a little bit. I think we're okay. And then we'll put the new shell on there and give it a go. Interesting. I may end up rewiring this thing yet. But I'm kind of curious. So this is where I had left the layout. Running these MTH, more of an 027 scale Alco PAs, not FAs. Notice it's got 3-axle trucks. And I acquired these Pennsylvania cars. I like those. Of course, I need to have some more. So let's just do a lap with it before we swap out power here. See if it goes. So we think that one probably has either a card issue, but one of my projects is to take that one apart and make sure that the drive line, the can motors and the gears and the trucks are free and lubed up.